For all the listeners that are listening to our station right now, this is actually, we're doing something pretty cool and new. We're actually doing a live set online. We're streaming live, and we're actually watching her. We're having an interview with her live via Skype as well. So we will be putting the video up on the rebroadcast, and this is really freaking cool. You guys really need to check out the rebroadcast of the show. This is really super awesome, and it's the first time we've tried it, the Pretty Hybrid Show, and we are doing it at floempireradio.com. Breaking new grounds, by the way.
Yes. Now, Tyeze, just so the listener knows, you were born in California, raised in Reno, go to school in Canada, and you bloomed in Brooklyn, and then you went teaching in South America, and then I met you here in New York. That's how we met. So, okay, what's the story?
I'm a gypsy at heart. That's the book.
How did you get into music?
Much inspiration from people and sounds and smells and environments, and so I was on the move of kind of hunting for, searching, what satisfied me, what inspired me, brought me, to another place within myself. And music ended up being the connecting element within all of my travels and people I've met and experiences I've gone through. So that's kind of been the gift of the movement. And it's also just the same language. It's the one thing that's across borders and boundaries. It's something that's been familiar, throughout the transition. So that's how that started.
What was also interesting about you, to be quite honest, is that you are a DJ that is you're not centered in one place. Like, you can't call New York the place where you play out. Like, you play all over the place.
Yes.
And that's something that really is interesting about you, I think. How do you manage to do that?
It's so true. It started with, the ability to sort of have my different tribes, in different places. And everywhere you go, you connect with certain people that you end up calling your family, and so I just have certain stints of time in different places, and I can go back to the family, and they give me speakers and sound systems to play on.
That is one of the things, to be honest, when I looked at prepared for you, that I really enjoyed the most, because I love free spirits. You know what I'm saying? And I think that music embodies that, and it embodies the free spirit. So from that I definitely commend you on that. And I think a lot of other DJs could take a note from just a side of you to inspire them to want to do that as well. Because that is definitely a hard task automatically. So congrats. And I also noticed that you are very involved in so many other things, that there's not one definition of Tyeze. I think there's a bunch of definitions of you, and I think it's okay to talk about them. I think we need to expose them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're a DJ, you're a producer, you're a fashion designer. You understand? You're an inspiration for other women on the come up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So now, what kind of genre do you see yourself more to? Like, what kind of genre that actually inspired you?
What kind of job?
Genre.
Type of music.
Genre. I was like,
Yes.
oh my goodness.
No job, girl.
But genre is one word that I just sort of have an issue with, because music, the source of it is the heartbeat. It begins in the heartbeat, and then it goes to the sounds of the fire crackling, with our ancestors, and then it turns into drum rhythms, and then we start to start to name it something so that we have an association to it. But I'm really just whatever gets my heart pumping, or feeling, or my body moving, is like, that's the genre I like, and it shifts, and it depends on who I'm talking to or where I am, that will connect me with a certain one. When I was in New York, I was super getting into the whole Be More Jersey Club footwork that I had never even been feeling at all, and then taking bits of that, back to the West Coast and incorporating it with the West Coast bass scene has been a fun adventure in itself.
I love
But
Jersey.
hip hop, I always love hip hop.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
That's why you love Jersey Club. To some extent.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Yes, it's all connected. So, do you have a place that you normally play?
Oh my god, yeah. I don't have a home zone really. You know, wherever I have the opportunity and the time to do so,
Okay.
I get out there and do it. But it's interesting, you know, traveling different places because the music scene is often very like cliquey. You know, you have to have a certain situation or person to kind of open up your opportunities to play. So it's always a fun little journey to align yourselves in the environment with the people you want to put you up like that. You know.
What would you say is your since you move around a lot, what is your strongest networking place?
Oh my goodness.
Or not even
I'll
place, but
say-
just way to network.
I would say physically the Black Rock, which is Burning Man. I don't know if you've heard of Burning Man.
No, we
Festival.
haven't. Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
It's a festival that's held a few hours outside Reno, and it's the craziest, most beautiful blank canvas you could ever dance on. And it's music and massive art installations and just people coming from all over the world to just paint with no boundaries, no society situations. So people often like name themselves something else for a week. And you go there and you kind of, those are my people. those are the gypsies, And from there you find people like, oh, I live in Canada, or something, and that's sort of like the physical place. But Instagram, Facebook, we have a company that I'm working with called Burning Artist Collective, and we print art and photography on clothing. And we started a brother website to that called doanything.com, which is where we allow artists to upload their work, and we kind of connect on different levels for producing clothing. So that's become my focus just recently.
We actually were saving that for last because we think that's super freaking cool.
Yes.
So you gave away the big bang right now.
I
So-
can breathe that,
We're probably going to rewind a little bit here. I'll tell you something about Tyeze, DJ Tyeze. When we opened the line, my partner here, Ozzy, spoke about her background and everything else, and we've totally prepared for you because you are an interesting guest, and that aspect of you is the fashion side. And you sent us a link to the Burning Artist, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And we went on this website to see, because when we met you, you were a very fashion person. You had on your tights and you had on your whole gear. You look super fly. Your whole getup was really cool, and it's reminiscent of like what we do, kind of, but just in a different space. So we went on this site. We said, well, let's check this out. Let's see how cool this is. If not, we'll check it out. And we went on there, and we were so freaking impressed because you are doing tights, right? If I may say so, and if it's called something else, correct me.
It's all kinds of clothing, but leggings were the entry point.
Right, the leggings. Right now, the leggings. What she did was she incorporated her world into leggings. So in other words, the leggings, the art on the leggings is her work as a musician and DJ and other producers that she respects as well. So it's not just like. They're really cool. You guys have to go on to this website and see what she's done, how she was able to incorporate her art and her music and other people's art into leggings, and they look cool. Like you want to rock them, point blank.
So,
give them the website.
So T, hold on. Before we even go to the website, what inspired you to do this? Like, this is completely different. So what inspired you?
Well, my grandmother, I'm actually wearing her glasses right now.
Oh,
She was one of the first bathing suit designers back like in the 50s, 60s, 70s after World War II, when they finally got different fabrics and colors. And so art and design have always been intricate part of my world. And a friend from New York had sort of this idea of art and photography on clothing, so she kind of brought me into her world, and we just started running with it from there. And it just seemed, you know, it was just effortless in connecting the two, you know, because she was doing lots of photography of nature, and I'm like, you know, my art is, you know, like Logic, you know, or Ableton. Like, I think that is sexy, and I think that could look amazing.
Yes, it is.
So it just, you know, and then we wanted to just bringing in new art and artists and to put people on, you know, and give them a different canvas that they wouldn't otherwise have or even consider, you know. So it's, you get the leggings, and on the label it says the musician's name, you know, and you have links to all their websites, and it's just another way of, you know, bringing your tribe up together.
That's very interesting.
That is awesome, actually. That is awesome, and it really is inspiring as well. So
now I know we're gonna play in the next couple minutes, but first I wanted to ask you, how did you start doing DJing? Like, we know that you produce, but when did the DJ start? Like, how did that happen?
That's a funny trail how it began. I have this group in Reno, Nevada called the Black Rock City All-Stars, and they kind of took me under their wing. I started doing spoken word and like freestyling very sloppily, but it began with my voice. And they would let me perform with them on stage and bring me back into the studio with them and watch their process. And so from there became my intrigue of like, oh, I could do this. I want to, you know, kind of DJ. I want to be able to make my own music. So, you know, I owe a lot of respect to Black Rock City All-Stars for taking some sort of, you know, I was so flighty. I can't believe they had the patience. But, you know, they really brought me into the world.
How could they not be? You have a great personality. You have that. Yeah, I remember when we first met, both Pretty Hybrid were like, okay, we're going to work together one day.
We were at the bar having drinks.
Yes. Yes, and we actually came to watch you.
Actually, we did. We came.
Yes.
They told us they were having what was it, the night?
The dubstep.
The dubstep, and it was women DJing, two fly DJs DJing. We were like, what? We're up in there, so we came and supported. And we were awesomely impressed, you know, and we had to network and be a part of it as well.
I'm so glad you guys did that. It's long overdue for this connection.
Yes, yes. We have been trying to get this one since the beginning of time. To have her on our show. We thought that she was still in New York City, but she moved to California. But wait a second, tell us about you had a gig last night, correct?
Yes, it was Saturday. Oh, I guess, was that? No,
yes,
Saturday.
on Vegas.
I was in Salt Lake City in Utah with the Hive Collective out of Utah, which is a super cool multimedia group of artists doing big things. So I DJ'd with my brother, my big brother.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool. That is really cool. So, DJ Tyeze is gonna play something for you guys, but she's gonna set up while I play Love Me Again by John Newman, and the remix is Whist and CBRL Trap Bootleg Remix.